Hey Pokemon champions, what's going on? It's Champion DarkBlaze here, and Pokemon Rivals. Aside from the gym challenge or the evil teams, they are your main motivation, your main obstacle in any of the Pokemon games. And on this channel, I've done a lot of videos about being a Pokemon gym leader, if I was a trial captain, way back when being a frontier brain, or a couple years ago my own evil team. And recently Birdkeeper Toby made a video discussing his story as a Pokemon rival in the Pokemon games. So today I'm here to offer my own story about being a rival in the Sword and Shield games. Originally, when making ideas for this video, I thought, what if I was a rival in the Sinnoh region, or if I was a rival in Kalos? And I wanted to replace the X and Y rivals because they're not so good, but I thought the story that I wanted to tell would work better in the Galar region. So here is my story about being a rival in Sword and Shield, and if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. With that being said, here's my story being a rival in Sword and Shield.
Alright, I choose you!
So, Pokemon rivals, some throughout the years have been exceptionally good at being your rival, while some in later years have not been the best at doing that. Nonetheless, the rival is still supposed to offer great opposition to you, the player character, and offer some sort of decent challenge as you progress through the story. But when you are a rival, you need a goal, you need some sort of motivation for even going on a journey in the first place. As we see with Blue, it's his goal to just be the strongest in the Kanto region. Silver wants to be stronger, to not be like his father Giovanni. He wants to get stronger on his own. And in the case of Sword and Shield, we have Hop, who wants to get stronger in order to beat his brother Leon and eventually become the champion, be stronger than him. And I think that's a nice dynamic, looking up to your older brother. So my inspiration for being your rival in Sword and Shield is going to stem from that. So a couple years ago, I made my evil team series, Team Blaze. Conquer the world with fiery ambition. That's our motto, that's what we're trying to do. In the first episode, Prologue of Fire, I chronicle the events of me as a trainer going through the entire world of Pokemon, through Kanto, Johto, all the way to Alola, because at the time, Galar didn't exist. But also in Prologue of Fire, the story starts and ends in the Sinnoh region. I get Turtwig as my starter from Professor Rowan, become the Alola champion at the end, finally winning a league, but lose my title, go back to Sinnoh and lose to my rival, and I become very discouraged and demotivated. So picking up after the end of Prologue of Fire, instead of being an evil team leader, this is an alternate timeline in which after losing to my rival, maybe a month or half a year later, I'm sitting in my living room and watching Leon battle against probably Lance in Winden Stadium. So the story's gonna pick up there, and I'm watching Leon battle with his Gigantamax Charizard, and his spectacle, his climactic battling style is what inspires me to go to the Galar region. I get so motivated by seeing him battle, because it's been quite some time since I felt this way about Pokemon battling. I haven't wanted to do any training in quite some time. So now it's off to the Galar region in order to meet this incredible trainer, to meet Leon, and maybe one day beat him and take him down. So the story in Sword and Shield is going to pick up with me when you guys get to Wedgehurst, when you, the player character, and Hop are seeing Leon in Wedgehurst for the first time. You're gonna get to Wedgehurst, the crowd will be there as normal, cheering Leon on, and Leon will be talking to the crowd and eventually talk to you and Hop. But I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna notice that if he's talking to you guys must be really noteworthy trainers and have some special power that I don't see right away. So I go over to Leon, have a little conversation, chit chat with him, and he's gonna put his hand on my shoulder and say that, hey, every trainer has the possibility to be a great trainer. And if you want to be the greatest, I'll be waiting for you at Winden Stadium one day. You should take on the gym challenge and I'll be waiting for you there. These words resonate with me, and now I have the greatest motivating factor in my life to be the greatest trainer possible. So then I talk to you and Hop and say, hey, why don't we have a battle to see how strong we really are? Now after leaving the Sinnoh region and coming to Galar, I only brought one Pokemon with me, that being my starter Pokemon, Turtwig. Turtwig was of course the Pokemon that did not evolve throughout my entire journey in Prologue of Fire, so Turtwig gets to come to the Galar region and unlock its full power and its full potential. But right now, its level has been reset to about 7 or 9 at the time that you are fighting me in the game. because let's be honest, it would be about level 100 after traveling through all the regions. So we have a battle, and of course you defeat me with your starter Pokemon, but I don't let that discourage me. I just say, hey, I'm new to the Galar region, there's still more I have to learn, so I'll see you in a while. So the next time that we are going to meet is in Modestoke, and I choose Modestoke because it's one of my favorite cities in the Galar region and reminds me of home. The Modestoke is supposed to represent the Industrial Revolution of Great Britain in general, but it also represents the Industrial Revolution that occurred in the United States. Where I live in New England, we had a lot of factories that were big and powerful throughout the Industrial Revolution, but they are pretty dormant nowadays. So going to Modestoke is giving me a lot of kind of home vibes. But the battle that occurs in Modestoke takes place after the introduction to the Pokemon Gym Challenge. We see all the gym leaders, Raihan, Nessa, Bee, Alistair. We see all the gym leaders, and now I'm super hyped to take on this gym challenge and go on a brand new journey in a brand new region. After the gym challenge, I'll meet you at the Bede Inn Hotel. Before we set out on the rest of our journeys, we're gonna have a battle, and this time I've added a Rookity to my team. So it's Turtwig and Rookity that you'll be fighting. But you'll still beat me again, and I just say, you know what, I still have a lot more training to do. So I'll see you in a while once I've gotten a lot stronger. Now the next time you're going to see me is on Route 6, and I specifically choose Route 6 because on Route 6 in Galar Region, there is a giant monument to Diglett right before you get to Stow-on-Side. And personally playing the game, I thought that always intrigued me as to why Diglett got this giant monument to itself when it's not really a special Pokemon that's noteworthy of any special skill, talent, or even lore. But I'm standing there admiring the monument because it fascinates me, and I'm deeply interested in Pokemon lore and mythology and what role they play in the Pokemon world. So I'm seeing if I can get any answers by poking my nose around the Diglett monument. I tell you what I'm doing and I say, hey, this is a perfect time to test our strength once again. And this time on my team, I'm gonna have Grottle, Corvisquire, and Eevee on my team. Now let me explain as to why these three Pokemon make up the first half of my team. Turtwig is on here because it was my starter Pokemon in Prologue of Fire in the Team Blaze series, and of course, it's my channel mascot, so that gives it a special place on the team already, and it's my absolute favorite starter Pokemon. I love the whole Turtwig line. Corvisquire is here because anytime I play Pokemon game, I always use the main regional bird on my team, at least the first time I played through the game, and Corviknight was an MVP on my Pokemon Shield run-through, so I have to use it here as your rival. And Eevee's on the team because I have very special connections to it for playing Pokemon XD Galar Darkness, where your starter Pokemon is an Eevee, and I evolved that into a Flareon in my last playthrough that I remember. So Eevee is here for those reasons. But of course you'll still defeat these three Pokemon, and I'll say, you know what, let's have some time go by and let's get very strong, let's hone our skills. I'll see you again when you have 7 gym badges. And that's what happens, you will not see me again until you get to Sirchester right before you're about to challenge Melanie, the Ice-type gym leader. When you get to Sirchester and you're about to challenge Melanie, I'll be already coming out of the gym, similar to how Barry in the Diamond and Pearl games would always come out of the gym and be ahead of you every single time you got to a new city. He would always be one step ahead and always made for some challenging battles with his team. So I come out of the Sirchester gym and say, hey, man, Melanie's ice types are no joke, nearly froze my Pokemon solid. But hey, why don't you test your strength against me to see if you're really ready to take her on? So we will have our next battle against each other, and this time my team has changed up a lot. This time my team is Grottle, Corviknight, Flareon, and Morgrem. So I still have Grottle from the last time we battled, but now Corvisquire is fully evolved, and Eevee has also evolved due to the Firestone I obtained early on in my journey. And I added Morgrem specifically because in Pokemon Shield, I did not catch a Morgrem and add it to my team. But then I saw Grimmsnarl later on, and I was like, wow, why didn't I catch this Pokemon sooner? But unfortunately, Grimmsnarl wasn't a part of my final team in the Galar region, so when I get Pokemon Sword, I definitely want to put Grimmsnarl on the team. But in this case, I'm adding Morgrem for that reason. And I'm adding specifically Morgrem and not Impidimp to the team right away because I still don't like Impidimp. This is just, it's a little too derpy for me. It's bad. I mean, it's got a nice typing, but it's bad. It's bad. Go away. I like Morgrem better. But of course, you will still defeat my team of 4 Pokemon, and I say, you know what, man, I guess you really are on your way as a Pokemon trainer. I guess I have to get much stronger if I still want to beat you, so I'll be seeing you back in Hammerlock. And after you beat me in Sirchester, I also say, hey, before you get your 7th gym badge, why don't we rest up your team at the bat in Sirchester City? I absolutely love Sirchester. It's one of my favorite cities in all of Galar because of the nice European and specifically Roman inspirations I can see in Sirchester, especially in the giant bath in the middle of Sirchester. So we go take a load off there and I say, man, to think that this is where the two heroes that stopped the darkest day so long ago, this is where they rested after defeating whatever dark forces were opposing the Galar region. If we're going to be the greatest trainers in Galar, I think this is a great place to rest and learn about some history. And personally, I've always been fascinated by Roman history and Roman mythology, so I think Circhester is a great place to have more development in the story. And of course, Hammerlock is where you get your final gym badge, so once you get to Hammerlock, I will again come out of Raihan's gym and say, hey, wow, Raihan's dragon types are no joke. You need to be really prepared before you go in there. And also when you get to Hammerlock, I also mentioned that Hammerlock has a lot of Dragonic inspirations, and that the dragon heads on top of the towers in Hammerlock, they remind me of some other dragon legendary Pokemon I've heard about only in Legends, and I'd like to see what history Hammerlock has. But there's no time for that right now because you need to get your 8th gym badge. So then we'll have our next battle, and this is one of our last battles in the game, and this time my team is at full capacity and full power. This time when you battle me before getting your 8th gym badge, my team is now Torterra, Corviknight, Flareon, Grimmsnarl, Toxtricity, and Golisopod. Now I've added Toxtricity and Golisopod for two specific reasons. Toxtricity was a Pokemon I added to my team very late in playing Pokemon Shield. I didn't know you could get gifted a Toxel on Route 5 from the daycare, so when I found out where Toxel was located in the Galar region, I said, hey, I need to go back and catch this Pokemon because Toxtricity is really awesome. Alas, I still didn't know about the gift Pokemon, so I went to Route, I think it's 7 that you can catch Toxel, but every Toxel on that route is a Toxel that will evolve into the low-key version of Toxtricity. So I had to wait for a thunderstorm in the wild area before I could get a Toxel with the right nature to evolve into the amped version. And I added Golisopod because when I played Pokemon Sun years ago when it first came out, I didn't get the overworld Wimpod that you could catch before going into Lush Jungle. I either killed it or it just ran away and I couldn't catch up to it. So when I played Ultra Sun, I made it a note that, hey, I need to catch a Wimpod. And Golisopod, my goodness, was an amazing asset to my Ultra Sun team. It was an MVP on that team, my goodness. Liquidation, First Impression, some other moves that it had, but it was fantastic. But of course, you need to get your 8th gym badge, so you defeat my team of 6 Pokemon. But I don't let that discourage me. I say I still need to train more, because I'm still motivated that I will take down Leon and his Gigantamax Charizard. So I say, hey, you know what? I'll be waiting for you in the league. See you then. So now it's off to the league, and the next time we battle, our penultimate battle is going to take place on the hill that overlooks Winden right before you get off of Route 10. On that hill, I'll be waiting for you and I'll say, hey, took you long enough to get here, I was waiting for you. Let's have one more battle before the league to see how strong we really are. And of course, the same team from before is Torterra, Corviknight, Flareon, Toxtricity, Grimmsnarl, and Golisopod. And I think Golisopod adds a nice water coverage and rounds out the team quite nicely. But you'll defeat me again, and then we won't battle again until we get to the league. So all the events of Sword and Shield will play out as normally, and I will be your final challenge before you battle Hop in the semifinals of the Galar Region Pokemon League Tournament. You'll battle me, and this time our battle is going to be much different because this time I'm using the power of Gigantamax energy. Just like Marnie uses a Gigantamax Grimmsnarl or Bede uses a Gigantamax Hatterene, I'll be using Gigantamax Torterra. If you see my video about top 10 new Gigantamax forms we could get in the Diamond and Pearl remakes, you know my top pick at the end of the video was Gigantamax forms to Torterra, Infernape, and Empoleon. And I think these forms are destined to happen in these remakes. But I have Gigantamax Torterra on my team, and it's quite the threat that you're going to have to deal with. But of course, if you're going to be the champion, you're going to have to defeat me as you do. Having lost to you in the Pokemon League, I've lost my shot at challenging Leon to a battle and taking down his Gigantamax Charizard. I would have done it with Gigantamax Torterra to show that even at a disadvantage, you can still pull out a win. So then all of the events of Sword and Shield are going to play out the same way they normally would, and you, of course, are going to become the Pokemon champion of the Galar region. But that's not where the story stops, because of course, we have DLC coming out later this year in Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra, and I think it'd be nice if we have one more battle in the post-game, similar to how Hop has that final battle in Slumbering Weald against the player character to show how strong he has grown as a trainer. So we have one more battle in the final spot of the Galar region. That's going to be in Wedgehurst, where we first met, where we had our first battle. And I think it has some nice sentimental value, and it really plays into the story quite nicely. I think it's a nice touch. but of course you'll still beat me, and I guess I still have a lot to learn as being your rival. So I'm gonna train harder, and maybe one day I will go and beat Leon and his Gigantamax Charizard. But I say, hey, there's these new areas in the Galar region that people are talking about. They're talking about new legendary Pokemon, I think new Reggies, new Galarian birds. What's that all about? I think we need to go investigate. And they say that there is an old Galar champion named Mustard that lies in those areas in Isle of Armor. Maybe if we go train with him, we can get much stronger and unlock our team's full potential. So now it's off to Isle of Armor, and we're gonna go train with Mustard, the old Galar Region champion. And I think that's a nice story of what I would do as a Pokemon rival in the Galar region. But of course, Pokemon Champions, I did not stop there. I also made different varying teams depending on if I was a rival in the Diamond and Pearl games, or in the X and Y games, or if I was a Fire-type specialist in the Galar region, similar to how Bede is a Psychic-type specialist and Marnie is a Dark-type specialist. If I was in the Sinnoh region, my team of 6 Pokemon that you're going to take down is going to be Torterra, Staraptor, Electivire, Magmortar, Dusknoir, and Floatzel. Torterra, Staraptor, and Floatzel were OG members of my original Diamond team, and Dusknoir is just an amazing Pokemon, and I love Electivire and Magmortar, Pokemon I'm currently using in Pearl and Platinum playthroughs respectively at the time of recording this video. If I was your rival in Kalos, my team would be Torterra again being my starter Pokemon, Talonflame because I always choose regional birds and Talonflame was an MVP in my Y playthrough, Charizard X because I chose Squirtle the first time I played Pokemon Y, and then Tyrantrum and Aurorus because they're the best fossils we have, and Heliolisk, an electric type I've come to love. Now if I was a fire type specialist in the Galar region, my starter would end up being Eevee, which evolves into Flareon. Then I would add Arcanine, Torkoal, Colossal, Turtonator, and Centiskorch to my team. And there we go, Pokemon Champions. That is my story, my little journey of what I would be like if I was your rival in the Sword and Shield games. Maybe I got this right, maybe I told a good story as your rival, but you're gonna have to let me know down in the comments below if I hit all the points as being a good rival in any of the Pokemon games. I didn't get to challenge Leon, which was my whole goal for being a rival in the Galar region, but I think the story still plays out rather nicely, especially at the end, going to train with Mustard in Isle of Armor. But let me know your thoughts down below, and be sure to leave your own story, your creative thoughts about your own rival journey down in the comments below. I love reading about them, and that's what the point of this video is, to get creative. So, I'll see you in the comments below, and until next time, Pokemon Champions, make sure you train hard. I'll catch you guys later.